In this video, we're going to talk about XML sitemaps. XML sitemaps can help you be found. An XML sitemap is a list of the pages on your website that you want Google or Bing to find. Along with telling Google or Bing about the page, you can also indicate relative priority as well as the date the page was last changed. While an XML sitemap can help pages on your website be found, ideally there are other ways for Google and Bing to find this information. However, sometimes there are pages on your website that are buried deep in the site, aren't linked to very much, or maybe they're just accessible after people fill out a search form. Yet you still want Google or Bing sending traffic to these pages. It's really important to note that Google and Bing use XML sitemaps as a suggestion of what they may want to crawl on your website. So an XML sitemap is not the be-all, end-all. Every day we run into sites where pages in their XML sitemap are being ignored by Google. So keep in mind, just because you tell Google about the page on your XML sitemap, it doesn't mean you're guaranteed to have that page crawled. It also doesn't mean that if they do end up crawling that page, that there's any guarantee the page will be indexed and actually show up in a search ranking. That said, even though the XML sitemap is basically just a suggestion, it can be really helpful for making sure your pages are found. So definitely go about the effort of making the suggestion to Google or Bing about the pages on your website. Now, if you don't have an XML sitemap, but all of your pages are crawled and indexed by Google or Bing anyway, then an XML sitemap isn't the most important thing to worry about. If you're in that situation though, an XML sitemap can still be helpful to make sure no future pages are being missed. So how do you know if Google and Bing are finding the pages listed in your XML sitemap? Well, the way to tell is in Google Search Console. You can go to Crawl, then click on Sitemaps. From there, you can look at the XML sitemap to see what you submitted, which is the blue bar, and compare that to what Google indexed. That's the red bar. In some cases, you'll see it like this screenshot, where Google has indexed more pages than were submitted. That means that not every page was listed on the XML sitemap, but Google found the pages some other way. You can also see the reverse, where the blue bar is higher, which indicates a lot of pages were submitted, but the red bar is shorter because Google is ignoring the pages listed in the XML sitemap. While on Google's XML sitemap report, you can also check out any errors that might exist with your XML sitemap. The most common error with an XML sitemap is that it contains 404 not found errors. It could also be that it contains duplicate content. Any pages found in error that you're listing on your XML sitemap are URLs you want to pull out of your XML sitemap. Likely, those are other errors you want to fix somewhere else on your website too. Bing Webmaster Tools also offers an XML sitemap tool. You can get to that by clicking on Configure My Site, then click on Sitemaps. From here, you can see how many URLs were submitted, but not how many Bing actually indexed. You can also see the crawl status, which ideally you want that status to say success. Otherwise, the status is going to say failed, and you'll know that you need to check out the problem. Do note that if you have a lot of failures on your XML sitemap, Bing and likely Google will stop taking notice of your XML sitemap. Remember, the XML sitemap is a suggestion, and Google and Bing will stop taking your suggestion if you are suggesting bad pages full of errors. So if you're going to have an XML sitemap, be careful with it and keep it error-free. So what's the next step here? Well, the first step is to see if you already have an XML sitemap. Unfortunately, there really isn't an easy test to run to see if you have an XML sitemap or not. XML sitemaps can be built in different ways, they can be located at different URLs, so if you have a developer, just ask them. If you'd rather, you can shoot us an email and we'd be happy to take a look. Our email address is info@elementive.com. If you don't already have an XML sitemap, we strongly suggest that you create one. There are free plugins for WordPress as well as other CMSs that will create the XML sitemap automatically for you. If your CMS cannot create one, there are also paid tools that will create one and keep it updated for you. Once you know if you have an XML sitemap, you need to submit it to Google Search Console and Bing Webmaster Tools. That's under the same areas we were just looking at on the XML sitemap reports. You can then check your XML sitemap status in Google Search Console and Bing Webmaster Tools about once a month. You can actually do it with the monthly stat check for any new issues. That way you can avoid errors and keep your sitemap updated and something that Google and Bing will continue looking at. Once your XML sitemap is in tip-top shape, the next area you want to look at and improve are your HTML tags. Please join us for our next video where we'll discuss HTML tags and their importance in helping Google, as well as other search engines, better understand your website.